everyone, it's Queen of Light 1111. Happy Friday here with your weekend reading. Before I get started, just a reminder, if you want to book your own personal session, I am available through my website, queenoflight1111.com. So go there to book your personal reading with me. As a reminder, I do not only twin flame energy check-in readings, but I also have an extended version where we go over not only how you guys are viewing each other and what the current connective energy is, but also what are the challenges and blocks to the connection, as well as then future energies. So take a look at that. And then lastly, I also do Akashic Records readings on your contract. So, we can always go over where things are in your relationship according to your contract with your twin. So we look at the foundation, we look at the current state of the contract, and then a potential future outcome. So that's that. I wanted to let you guys know. And also, this is going to be a little bit long. I got a little carried away. I'm not going to do this again, but I used 7 different decks. We went through head, heart, 3D space. I did get messages from the masculine only. I did current energies, future energies, some more clarifications on the future. I looked at the third party energy, and then I looked at how that affects your relationship go forward. So it's a lot. So bear with me. I'm going to try to get through this, as quickly as I can. All right. So bottom of the, and then I use the Lenormand to clarify 2 cards as well for what came out from the masculine in his heart space. I needed to clarify that because I just wanted to make sure I was clear on the messages. Lots and lots and lots of repeating cards. I will tell you at a very high level, this collective twin flame couple has concluded a cycle or is concluding a cycle. We are very much at the tail end of this kind of like healing and pain. I will tell you that they have probably connected in the 3D, not just in communication, but maybe have traveled to see each other because I have travel and communication followed by the devil card. So maybe there was a little bit of an exchange. And so that shows up in her headspace because that exchange has affected her headspace, and that exchange is in his heart space. So it's really, impacting this relationship at this time. So it's very, very interesting. So that was, I was just getting kind of carried away. I wanted some more information. And so I think we have a really good reading here. So I'm going to stop talking about what I saw, and I'm going to tell you which cards came up. So bottom of the deck for the Divine Masculine, 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is a card of victory. It's a card of being successful. It's a card that he's learned lessons and wants to have success. This card comes up a lot for him. It comes up in when he wants to reinvent himself as a clarification. It comes up as a part of this third party situation where, that's reflected. And so he's getting the 6 of Wands a lot. So that's what we have for the bottom of his deck. For her, we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is wiser, okay? She's wiser now. She demands diplomacy, the truth, integrity. She's not going to compromise those qualities. And she's looking for her king to come forward with that same type of energy, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So in the Divine Masculine's headspace, okay, when he thinks of his feminine, what is he thinking? 9 of Cups was the first card that flew out for him. So, he knows that she is his wish. He knows it. He's been with her now in the physical, and he's, feeling like, yes, she's my wish. I want to fulfill my wishes with her, and so he's very much still in this wanting to fulfill his wish of coming together. The second card that flew out is Temperance. Temperance is about healing. Temperance is about patience. He knows that this relationship needs to be tempered because they're still processing some heartbreak, some loss. You know how this third party situations in the past have affected their relationship. So he understands that it's not something that he can jump into at this time, right? And so there is going to be some justice that's going to need to be served. Some, you know, he's got to do right by her. This justice card comes out a lot in the future. I know this is temperance, but this is part of the healing, and in that it is him giving her justice. But here he knows that he needs to be patient. He's also got a lot of things going on in his life right now, and we're going to get to all of this. He's really, this moon energy came out a couple of times, and I was like, I need to get to the bottom of what it is, and it comes out. It very much comes out. So he knows he has his own healing to do. He knows that she has healing to do. He knows that there's healing that they need to do together, and all of these things are going to take time. But nonetheless, Nine of Cups, she is his wish, and he knows it's going to take time to build this road back to union. The next card after this is the World. He knows we have a lot of cards of completion. That's why at the top of this reading I said they're concluding a cycle. The World card, this is, you know, about completing a cycle, this cycle of pain, this cycle of lessons being learned through other parties, through experiences. And so this is very much they're concluding a cycle. He knows he wants to end this cycle. And then further we get the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is when the wheel turns. It's about karma. So karma is being paid at this time. We get the wheel a lot of times. We got the wheel in the future energies. We get the wheel in her headspace, and now we have the wheel in his headspace. And so what we're getting is that this wheel is turning. This karmic lessons are being learned. The wheel is turning for the better. They're coming into a better cycle in their relationship because things are being concluded. Relationships, behaviors, things that didn't serve them are being eliminated from his life through this wheel turning. Okay, so she's his wish. He knows this is going to take time to heal. He's concluding his cycle of learning and their pain and their processing, and this wheel, things are going to get into a better time. Okay, so here we have in her space, in her headspace, the first card that flew out for her, Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is about, again, like I just said, things turning for the better, changing for the better. And so that's the first card. She feels like after, you know, they've come together, that things are going to get better, because after this Wheel of Fortune, this wheel turns, what happens? Ace of Cups. This renewal of love, okay? This renewal, this self-love, you know, choosing yourself, you know, loving yourself, but then also this renewal of this relationship. It comes after this wheel turns, and the wheel has turned. And so now they're coming into this place. She's coming into this place in her mind of self-love and renewed love. And there's been communication. There's been travel, because what happens after the Eight of Wands is the Devil. And so what I really got from this is really it's that, you know, there has been a connection. There has been a exchange, because as soon as I finished that one, he got the Devil in his heart space. So anyway, yes, they are both in the Devil's energy. So they're very much processing this meeting, this connection, and how they are feeling about each other now. And what that has done is that has, you know, it has, one, turned the wheel, which is great. Two, it has created this kind of rebirth of a new love. And now it has her thinking a little bit like, okay, you know, I don't know, maybe we can come together, but we're going to have to move away from certain things. And for him, it has really triggered him into a few things in his heart space. Okay. So interestingly enough, typically exchanges like that affect the feminine in the heart space. But in this case, for her, this exchange, is really more in her headspace. Like she's processing what has occurred. And for him, it's like he's feeling it in his heart. Okay. So here's what we have. And I'm not going to tell you the clarifiers yet. I'm just going to tell you the cards that came out. Okay. So the first card that we got for him in his heart, the Divine Masculine's heart space. So when he feels when he is in his feelings for his feminine, what do we get? Well, this Devil card. So he's thinking about her. He's thinking about how they were together. And so I'm not going to go into it any more than that, but it is definitely this whole connection, this physical connection. Okay. So then we have the Hanged Man. So it's kind of like this happened and now it has kind of paused, right? The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is like, okay, let's just take a step back so maybe we don't repeat certain behaviors. And it's also a card of suspension. So this is again like, okay, this happened. Let's not rush in because I'm really not ready to tell her something with this Moon card, right? I'm really not ready to share anything yet. There's a mystery in that he's keeping. There's information that he's keeping in his heart space. And then we have the Knight of Cups. It's like, yeah, he has love for her. He wants to come in, sweep her off her feet. He wants to just dive right in. But, we start with the Devil, which is the 3D, physical, ego, superficial self. And then we go to the Knight of Cups. So it's like, he's really in between that, pausing that energy from this energy exchange to the swooping in. And so I love it. I mean, he got 3 major arcana in his heart space. So I know he is going through a life lesson right now. I know it. So we have this exchange that happened, this swooping in, but yet no, let's not repeat the same things. And I'm not ready to communicate everything to you at this time. So I was like, all right, hold on. What is the deal with the Hanged Man? Why, after this exchange, is he pulling back? Well, we got the Child card out of the Lenormand, okay? This is a card of innocence. This is a card of innocence. This is a card of also maybe having a child. And so for me, I mean, I don't know how much this is going to be a very specific message, and I don't know how much this is going to resonate with everybody. But as I started to get to the 3D messages, because at first I was like, I'm not going to pull any more cards because it's just going to get more confusing. So I thought, okay, well, maybe he needs to mature, right? This is child. This is about, being young at heart, childlike behavior, right? So maybe it's like, well, he needs to emotionally mature. I think that is, yes, part of the message. But the other message that I started to get or also, I'm sorry, so not only is it maybe he's got some emotional maturity to, he needs to be more mature. Right now, maybe he's more childlike. This is also kind of infancy stages in the relationship. Remember, we have the Ace of Cups. And so there's this desire not to make the same mistakes again, because now we're in the infancy stage of this new beginning. Okay, so that is also why there's the suspension. But the third message that I got, so not only that it's a pause because maybe he's emotionally mature, or secondly because this relationship is now in the infancy stage of this new renewal. Third message that I really got, that what drove this third message home is that in his 3D message, he got the card of union. Union was then clarified by the Hanged Man, which is in his heart space. And then it was further clarified by the Queen of Earth, which is mother, with the King of Wands, which is in her space here. So what I really got from this with that whole thing, and I'm going to have to jump ahead so that makes sense to you, was that this union is suspended at this time with this Queen of Pentacles and this Queen of Wands, this King of Wands. The King of Wands is the masculine. He's representing himself as the masculine here. Because you know what? I really do feel like he wants to have a family with this feminine. And so if he screws this up like this last time, this big dream, because big dreams come up in his 3D message, this big dream of union is gone. And so this Queen of Earth is the mother, right? This is the mother, and this is the masculine, and the union is suspended at this time. So what I really got from this is this union is suspended because remember, she is his wish, okay? She is his wish, but he is suspending this because he has learned some lessons from his past and their past that he is not willing to repeat again, because he knows this cycle is their last, okay? Which we're getting clear indication of, that this cycle that they're concluding is going to be the last. Then this moon energy, I'm like, what is this guy hiding? What is it? I'm sick of the moon, okay? What is it? He doesn't want to tell her that he wants this movement forward. This is the Rider card, okay? And the moon, it clarifies the moon. The Rider is about new beginnings. It's about news. It's about, you know, this messenger. It's about, see this, they're on, she's on, is this the lady? Yeah. She's on this carousel that goes round and round and round. Okay, what's that? The world. They've gone round and round and round. And this horse that's on the carousel goes up and down, and they have been up and down, like a roller coaster, okay? And so now this card, this is about specifically a new cycle being initiated and the ending of an old one. The ups and downs of the carousel, right, also symbolized a magical flight, okay, and a messenger to its destination. He wants to free himself from this merry-go-round that he has been in his life, with karmic partners, with this in and out with his feminine, with this cycle of up and down. He's done. So he doesn't want to communicate his feelings at this time. Okay, Knight of Cups, because the Knight of Cups comes out right after the moon. He doesn't want to communicate all of his feelings at this time, that he wants this new beginning, that he wants union, that he wants to have a family with her. He's not ready to communicate that right now. He's in his heart space. He's processing what has occurred between the both of them. He is taking a step back because he knows he wants to have her, right? He wants to have a long-term relationship with her. He wants to potentially have a family with her. So he is working on his emotional intelligence to come across as a king. So let's not promise her much right now. So in her space, it feels like, wow, he's retreated. So, but that's not what it is. What it is he's not communicating all his love for you, this desire for union with you, any of that, because he doesn't want to make all these promises and disappoint you again, because he's done that many, many times. And so what he's doing is this desire to get off this merry-go-round, this desire to move forward on a journey to create a family, is being hidden from you at this time because he's not ready to communicate it. It's not the third party. It's not anything like that. It is truly what is hidden at this time is his desires for his connection with you. Okay, that's what he's hiding. Freaking crazy. So in her heart space, I'm telling you, sets her off. He's not communicating after this exchange. So what the hell? Okay, Three of Cups, reunion. They were together. They celebrated. They came together. It playful maybe, but they came back together. Okay, they got back together. Three of Cups, reunion. But then she goes into Hermit, card of Virgo. Self-discovery, goes within. She's the wiser now, okay? Goes into hermit mode after this devil's energy and in her heart space. She's like, okay, I'm going to close myself off. And you know what? I might need to walk away yet again. Might need to walk away yet again because he's not communicating. And then we have the Lover's card. And so what I'm really getting from this whole combination is, wow, what a great time. You know, we came together. It was amazing. But something's shifted, and that's where she's processing this in her head. Hey, we have this renewal of love. There's this cycle changing. You know, we've communicated, we've seen each other. And so in my heart, in her heart space, she's like, Three Cups, wow, you know, we're back together. But oops, no, I have to go within now. And now I got to reset myself. And I might have to walk away from this divine connection, okay? Or make a choice about walking away from this divine connection. In his 3D space, okay? Like, what's his 3D energy right now? We have a few cards. Two, at the last message, two of them flew out together. And so it's very consistent. I feel like this is a full 3D reading. So, Seven of Pentacles. So, the Seven of Pentacles, couple of messages. Yes, it's a card of pause. It's also a card of, waiting for what you have planted to come up so you can harvest it. And so, he's planted seeds, he's given some. And so right now, remember, he's in the Hanged Man. So this is another card of pause in the 3D. Why? Because of heartbreak. There's been heartbreak before. There's been sadness before. There's been third-party situations before. And he wants to move forward. Six of Swords. This card came up in the third-party energies. Okay, they want to move into something smoother. He wants to move away from this heartbreak, this loss, this third party situation, and end another 10, end this cycle with his Queen of Wands. It's not end the relationship. Very, very clear. Let me say it again. This is not ending the relationship. She's the Queen of Wands in this reading, okay? And or to him rather. And because that is really how he sees her. I really feel like when they are challenged, he sees her as the Queen of Wands, fiery, independent, sarcastic, witty, just like Miss Independent. But when he wants to build a family with her, I really feel like he sees her as the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups energy, okay? Queen of Swords is when they're together and fighting. I really feel like that's why this Queen of Swords came out. So she really embodies all of the queens for him. I really feel like he puts her on a pedestal a little bit, and that's dangerous for him. And so, just as much as she experienced heartbreak, he experiences heartbreak too. Granted, it's because of his doings, but let me not get off topic. 3D, pause. Three of Swords, heartbreak, loss, third-party situations. He's pausing because he wants to move forward from these energies and end this cycle. This Ten of Swords, end this cycle with the Queen of Wands. Stop the pain, stop the hurt, okay? Because remember, he knows it's going to take time to heal and build the bridge back together again. He wants to conclude this cycle that we were in, another 10, this Wheel of Fortune, right? And go into better times. That's another 10. And so I really feel like he cannot swoop in. He wants to swoop in, communicate his love, but he just can't do that right now because he knows they've been through a lot of pain in the past. He wants to heal her from it. He wants to heal from it. He wants to move forward into something smoother with her and end this cycle of pain. Remember, his bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. He wants to be successful in this relationship with her. He really does. He really, really does. I believe it. So now, what did we get for her 3D space? Page of Wands. Can you please communicate? Page of Wands. It's about please communicate. Can you please communicate with me in the 3D? Because I'm not getting much from you after all of this. And communicate as the King of Wands. Be direct. This is a match to the Queen that came out with the Ten of Swords. So communicate with me, please. And communicate, have some direction, have some ambition, be motivated, take charge. The Emperor came out right after. Take charge of this relationship because it is putting us into conflict and getting in the way of the Fool's energy, this new beginning that we can have. The Fool comes out a lot. The Fool comes out a ton of times in the current energy. So I really do believe that there is a new beginning here. It also comes out in his 3D message. So the other thing I want to make as a side note, because I said earlier about this child card with the mother card in union, is that I found it very interesting that he came out with the Queen of Wands with this Ten of Swords, like ending the cycle with his feminine on all this pain. And then her first message here for the 3D is the Page. This is the child. And then we have the King. So we have the King with the Queen and the Page. And here we have the child, and and what is holding up this union, like what is the suspension, is really because I really feel like he wants to do this right so that this time they can actually come together into union and actually have a family. I really strongly got that. So again, she wants a message. She wants him to take, Be direct, be motivated, be ambitious, come forward with passion, take ownership of this relationship with her, okay? Otherwise, they go into conflict in this new beginning. The Fool's energy can be compromised. Okay, let's go into 3D messages, okay, from the masculine to his feminine. Remember, I just went through this. So union is his first message. He wants union. He's telling you, first card that flew out. I don't know when he's gotten that last. But now, since this exchange and this reconnection, he wants union, but he's telling you it's suspended. Because remember, that came out hanged man. This is the hanged man in his heart space. Union is suspended, feminine, at this time. This is the feminine's energy, and this is the masculine's energy. And when I went back to see, okay, well, where did we get the hanged man first? We got it in his heart space, clarified by the child. Mother, father, child. A mother, father, child. He is suspending this union at this time because he's just not ready just yet, okay? He's not ready just yet. He is still healing. He has a lot of things that he wants to communicate to you in this message, in his 3D messages, about why this family that he wants to build with you and this union he wants to have with you is suspended. He's going to tell you. So let's get to it. So that's his first opening message to you, is union is suspended at this time. This family we want to create, this union of coming back together, this commitment is suspended at this time. Why? One, he knows he needs, this is justice, okay? This is justice card, balancing the scales. This is the oracle, balancing the scales. And so he's very much, he knows that he needs to balance things out with you. But at this time, he is just confused. There's chaos. This is another number 7. So we have 7 of Pentacles in his paws. We have the 7 here in the 7 of Cups. We have the set of the, did I have another 7? No, sorry about that. So we have the 7 of Pentacles in his 3D space, which is like he's pausing. And then when he's telling you, he knows he needs to balance the scales with the 7 of Cups, which is the first clarifier. So there's procrastination, there's confusion, there's chaos right now. But it has to do with being able to give equally. Okay, it has to be, it's about being emotionally mature, about being financially stable, about being able to give and receive. He's not even able to receive you properly. So he's telling you that. And that gets in the way of the journey. The Fool. Remember, the Fool came up. She's like, oh, we go into conflict. And then here we go. Compromises the Fool. There's conflict over the new beginning. And he's telling you, yes, there is. I need to balance the scales with you, but I'm confused because I know I can't give to you what you deserve at this time. So then the journey is affected. Remember, the union is suspended. So of course the journey is affected. And why? Because he's reinventing himself right now. He really is. He is in a period of major transformation. He wants to reinvent himself. The first card that came out, again, was the 6 of Wands. That's in the bottom of his deck here for his underlying energies. He's reinventing himself. He's building a brand new divine masculine, new and improved. I've been talking about this. And he's reinventing himself to be successful and to love himself also before he can then love you. Remember, we just got that 6 of Pentacles, which was, I know I need to balance the scales, but I'm a little confused and our journey is affected. The Fool's energy is affected because I need to reinvent myself and be successful and love myself so then I can love you in every way that you deserve. Ace of Cups is in her mind, right? And then we can have union. Union is on his mind. Whether or not I know he's not communicating with her at this time in a manner that is to her expectations. Maybe there's just like a little bit of back and forth, but let me tell you, he's not communicating that he wants this union badly, but because he's working on himself right now. He's reinventing himself, and so that he can have this with you, okay? And that's trying to gain financial independence. I'm saying that because we have the 9 of Pentacles in the current connective energy. So I really do feel like it's financial independence, it's removing burdens, it's healing his heart. He wants to reinvent himself to be a successful masculine that is going to be worthy of you. And so he is reinventing himself. He wants to be successful. He wants to love himself, feel good about himself, and then give you the love that you deserve so you can come into union. Okay? Oh, God, it makes my heart hurt. Okay, so then the next message here is, I have big dreams. I have big dreams. Remember, he just said he wants to reinvent himself and be successful. He has success twice. 6 of Wands, underlying energy. 6 of Wands under reinvention with union, with the Ace of Cups. He's big dreams. Big dreams. Big dreams too. That he needs a lot of strength right now. This is the unconditional love card. This is the strength card. He's telling you he's trying to gain his strength. He's trying to gain his footing. He needs your support and strength. And once he gains the strength, he's going to be able to balance things out with you. This is the Justice card again. Okay, but now it's in the tarot. First it was in the Oracle. And remember, it was the balancing the scales, which he had confusion under, right? And is procrastinating because he doesn't feel like he can give and receive equally. So it's getting in the way of the journey. But his big dream is that he will gain the strength, be successful, be able to balance the scales, and have this emotionally mature relationship, Queen of Cups, okay? And be able to be compassionate, give you what you need. Okay, be understanding. Right now, he doesn't even understand his own problems, how to get through his own problems. Remember, balancing the scales comes out with big dreams and strength. Balancing the scales comes out with his confusion too. So he's going to gain the strength, okay, and then balance the scales, and then he could be compassionate and understanding and give you what you need, okay? Remember, there's a lot of give you what you need here. Lots of give you what you need. He doesn't feel like he can give you what you need at this time because he is working on himself in many ways. And here is his last message, which just drives everything home, is lessons. He's learning lessons. He has learned lessons through your separation, through this journey with you. He's learned lessons that have given him big burdens. 10 of Wands, big burden, another 10. And that's how I know we're concluding this cycle of this pain, okay? And again, right after 10 of Wands, he's moving on. He's moving on from all these burdens of these third-party energies, this up and down merry-go-round. He is getting rid of all of these burdens because he's learned his lessons. Okay, and then his final card is what is transforming him now. Oh God, it's beautiful. It's totally transforming him. The lessons that he is learning at this time, that he has learned through the separation, has created this big burden, this karma with the wheel, and he is moving on from those third-party situations, from those behaviors that didn't serve him, and he is transforming himself. Remember, reinvention. We had reinvention, and now we have transformation. So he's going through some major cycle at this time, right? Wheel of Fortune. He's going through this major cycle. He is reinventing himself. He is preparing himself. He is changing himself for you so he can be a better version of himself. He really is. He's going to come correct. He's going to come correct because he knows there's been this change. It's shifted her mind, but it has shifted him at the core in his heart. Okay. So bottom of the deck for the Oracle was separation. So what I got from this is we had union, balance the scales, reinvention, big dreams and lessons through separation. He has learned that he needs to do right by you. He has learned that he needs to reinvent himself. He has learned many lessons. And now he has these big dreams and he wants union. That is what he got from the separation card. Okay, that's bottom of the deck energy. And then we have, for the oracles, defensive. So it's like, hold on. That's the suspension. Now there's 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, 7 of Cups. Okay, these are lessons. These are lessons being learned. 7 of Wands. So right now, It may feel like it may feel like energetically like he's pushing you away, but he's not. He is truly trying to avoid further pain and further heartbreak because he knows there's enough to heal. So there's no need to inflict more pain at this time while he is reinventing. Okay? I thought that's a high vibrational person that to do that. Granted, he could do it in another way where he communicates that to you, but one lesson at a time. Okay, he wants to be the King of Wands. Comes out twice. The King of Wands can be a little arrogant, okay, and so he doesn't want to show you any weaknesses. So take that into consideration. All right. So what do we have for the connective energies? So for the connection, the first card that flew out was the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is the match. So again, remember I said, hey, that's the child, page, child, mother, father. So this could be like, hey, it's on my mind to create this family. It's on my mind to create this family. It's also on my mind to communicate with you. Okay, they both want to communicate. They both really do want to build something. So Page of Wands is about communication. It's about messages, swift messages. But what's happened is there's been a little bit of a pullback. Four of Swords. People have retreated a little. Remember, she went into Hermit. He went into Hanged Man. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands, right? He went into all of these different energies where it's like, okay, we're talking, but oops, let me pull back. Four Swords, okay? And Tower, because we're trying to rebuild from this major, major shift that has happened and have something new to offer, something brand new and solid to offer. There is a great desire. This is the connective energy. There is this new beginning. Look at the path, the yellow brick road to this Ace of Pentacles, okay? It is this brand new destination of this new beginning with the Fool. The Fool came out, remember, in his 3D message, okay? And it came out in her 3D space. So there is this, actually what's happening is good. So there's this communication or there's this desire to build a legacy, but yet there's been a little bit of a retreat so that we can rebuild to have this new improved beginning in this material world and take the leap of faith and really start this journey together. They're really wanting to get back together, but they want to do it right. So if that means it takes a little bit more time, then it takes a little bit more time. Okay, let's go into third party energies. I said, what are the third party energies today, if anything? And I will tell you, I was relieved that we did not get one court card, a female court card, because then I knew, because I already had all of the queens out and I already know that that's how he sees his feminine. So I was kind of like, if I get a court card, third party situation is still a problem, but I didn't. So that's good news. But let me just really quickly give you the bottom of the deck for the current energies for the connection and the future energies. Oh, interesting. Here we have the Devil right underneath it. So there definitely was some exchange. But here we have Nine of Pentacles. People want to feel confident. People want to feel secure. People want to feel like they have all of their ducks in a row. The Nine of Pentacles is about feeling confident in your finances, that you're comfortable in your life, that you're independent. And that is something that he's very much wanting to work on, because I just don't feel like that's what he has today. He is rebuilding himself, reinventing himself completely. And his pentacles for him are a little bit of an issue. Okay, so he wants to be financially secure. So that's the bottom of the deck for their future and their connection right now, is that he is working on himself. He wants to transform himself financially, emotionally, spiritually, and he wants to be successful. Okay, so that is the bottom of the deck. So now 3D space. What do we get for the 3D space? We have the Hierophant, and in this side of the vice versa deck for the Hierophant, it's all about doing the right thing. It's about rules. It's about learning lessons. Lessons came out, remember? So through this third party situation, he has learned many, many lessons. And now he knows that he needs to do the right thing. Okay. So third party energy, moving away. Six of Swords. This is about retreating. This is about moving away from third party energies. We have then the Seven of Wands. This side, remember, Seven of Wands came up for his messages. It's like he's defending himself or pulling away from any connection at this time, okay? Because, well, this is third party related. He's defending himself. He's just done with this energy, with this third party energy. He wants to move on from it. He's not feeling it. He's definitely learned from his successes and his failures. Okay, and so this is very much a card of, I'm going to retreat, I'm going to move on from third parties. I have learned from the successes that I've had in those and the failures that I've had in those. This is now the Knave of Swords. This is about, you know, look, he's coming forward. It's like he's like arrogant. He's not humble. And so this is part of the lessons that he's learned, is that, you know, his arrogance got him into a lot of trouble, okay? Because his ego, he was working through his ego. So he wants to move away from that. He's learned by becoming more humble, you know, and being disappointed in these connections. He also, we have the Seven of Swords, and this is like this, and I wanted to get a clarification on this. It was like this, then there's this thieving, this cheating behavior, and that all came from this arrogance. So then I said, okay, so well, what happens? Obviously, he's not with the third party. Well, you know, he's going to recognize that people, Six of Wands, again, success in his 3D message, Six of Wands. He's going to recognize that these relationships have helped him. Okay, he's not the only one that should be on that horse. Do you see all the men with the blood stain? So, and then remember this Three of Swords, this third party energy, this is bleeding heart. It's like all this deceiving, all these people that he has hurt in the process have helped him learn the lessons, have helped him become more humble. And he needs to recognize that. And so then what happens? What happens with this? It turns him in to the King of Cups. And in this side of the deck, you know, this is like more kind of, you know, serious, thoughtful, spiritual. And in this side, he's more emotionally mature, but he also becomes a little bit more playful. He starts to find joy in his life again, okay? And then I said, okay, so all of this with the third party, what did that do for his connection with his feminine? Well, Knight of Cups. And remember, Knight of Cups is in his heart space. Okay, Knight of Cups. What it did was he knows he wants to be with his feminine, and because it's a repeat card in his heart space about how he feels about her, he understands through this behavior, through these relationships, that he wants his feminine, but he knows he's going to have to work hard at it. He's going to have to dedicate himself. Eight of Pentacles. He's going to have to reinvent himself. He's going to have to balance the scales. He's going to have to work hard at this connection to heal the separation, to heal the pain with her. And then now, again, Ace of Pentacles. It's this brand new beginning, which we just had in his current energy. So now that this is all over, he comes back as the Knight of Cups to his feminine. He works hard and he dedicates, and he's able to make the solid offer to her. Okay. Final messages here. Future energies. We have the Wheel. Okay. Future. They're going to continue to go into better times, completing cycles. They're going to travel more towards each other, continue to see each other. They're going to continue to communicate. This is also Cupid's arrows. There's going to be more love that is going to bloom in the future. And then we have this Hanged Man energy again. And so it's like, you know, we're going to go through maybe a little bit of suspension, a more around letting go. And so then it's going to create a little bit of imbalance in the future. Don't worry. I had to clarify all these because I was like, I can't leave it like this. So, you know, they're going to continue to have the wheel turn. They're going to continue to see each other. There might be another suspension where he kind of resets or she resets. You know, people are going to continue to balance out their feelings, their heart space, and they're going to still feel a little trapped. I mean, now union is going to continue to take some work. So I said, okay, well, that wasn't very exciting. Not that I was looking for exciting. I was like, that wasn't very hopeful. So I was like, okay, let's further clarify these future energies. So this is where I really started to get that it's really a finance thing, and it's also an inequality thing that is that is affecting this relationship. And so what we had as the first card that came out was the House. They both want to have roots. This is card's been coming out a lot for them. This is the Lenormand. And so what I really got from this was that they want to build this home. Remember, this family they want to create, this union that they want to manifest. They really want this in the future. They want this luck. Their luck is going to be on their side. It's going to happen, okay? But this is what we got with this card here. This is about, it's watery energy. It's the moon again. But in the Lenormand, it's very much like this moon energy feels less brighter than the sun, and the feminine is the sun, and he feels like the moon. And so it is this feeling of inequality. It is this feeling of not having enough recognition, notoriety. Maybe he feels dim in her light, okay? But it's not a secret. It's not a secret because he's telling you right now there's this inequality. There's the balancing of the scales. He needs to be able to give to you fully. He wants to reinvent himself so he feels better about himself. He wants to transform himself so he can be your match. So he can be the match to the Queen of Wands. He wants to be, the desire's there, but in this Nine of Pentacles energy for their space, it's like he really wants his independence and his wealth and his confidence. And this is where I feel like, again, remember, in this moon was clarified by this movement forward, having to move forward. And then we get the moon again. And it's really about, he cannot communicate this movement forward until he is feeling secure in his own self, loves himself, feels victorious in his career, feels independent and confident. He just cannot do that until he gets that, because he doesn't feel like a match today. The last card, though, is they're going to move into smoother times. They really are. They really are. So it happens, okay? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But right now, he needs to work on himself. Right now, he needs to build his wealth. Right now, he needs to become more emotionally mature. But there is this great, great desire to do the right thing. There is the great desire for him to be extremely successful. We got the Six of Wands 3 times for him. We got the Fool 3 times in this deck. We got the Hanged Man more than I would like to get it, but it's good. It's okay. It's, you know, this is for a better cause, for a better ending, rather, or a better beginning, rather. And, you know, things are looking up. So I'm glad to have had this reading today on a Friday. Take the time to process this and really only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And we will come back to you on Monday with your Monday reading. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.